Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first edition of Faces and Places across the United States. My name is Kate, and I'll be with you behind the scenes along with my colleague Leah as a moderator. And we're happy today to be joined by our host Sandra and our special guest Melissa. All right, thanks for joining, and let's get started.
Hi, hello everybody, and welcome to our first edition of Faces and Places across the United States. My name is Sandra, and I'll be your host today. And today I'll be talking to our guest, Melissa. Welcome to our chat, Melissa.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
It is wonderful to have you here, Melissa. We are so happy that you have joined us for this first web chat. But before we begin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you now, Melissa?
Well, I am in Utah, which is in the mountainous western part of the United States, and I teach at a university here. And I live with my husband, my 2-year-old, and our 2 dogs. So things are pretty crazy here most days.
It looks like it's pretty busy around there.
Yeah, it can be a little hectic, especially in the mornings when the dogs and the toddler want to get up.
Yeah, so tell us about the weather today. How is it there in Utah?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm just looking out the window. It's blue skies, sunny. It's definitely spring today. So it'll be a nice day to go on a walk or be in the backyard.
Oh, that is very nice.
How's it in DC?
Here in Washington, D.C. is a little cloudy. It's been unusually cold for the spring months, but we're getting there. I think tomorrow will be a little better.
Oh, nice.
So let's get started because today we have a great topic to talk about. We are going to be talking about food. And who doesn't like food? So good. Maybe we can ask our viewers today if they can tell us what's their favorite food. I'll start. My favorite type of food is Mexican food. I love everything that has tortillas, tacos, salsa, anything with cheese. I love it. I'm there. What about you, Melissa? What is your favorite type of food?
I could definitely go with Mexican food, especially a taco or a burrito. But I think my favorite food that I could eat all the time are French fries.
Ooh, I love French fries.
Yeah, they're just greasy and salty, and if you make them at home, it's not quite the same. But
oh, that is nice. Okay, so let's talk about an incredible experience you had with food. We are going to talk a little bit about what happened to you in your experience and what made this meal a very unforgettable story.
I think my story starts in Bosnia Herzegovina when I was living there in 2008, and in the spring of 2009, my sister was visiting. My husband and I and her and some friends were traveling in the southern part of the country in Herzegovina, and we decided to take a hike, and it turned into a terrible hike that ended with a spectacular meal. It was, if you know anything about Bosnia Herzegovina, the southern part of the country is very Mediterranean, and so it can be very hot and dry. It's mountainous, so you can see that slide there is a picture from our hike. There's not a lot of shade or cover if you're out hiking in that part, but it's really lovely. On that particular day, it was really hot, and we decided to go on this hike up to this hotel restaurant that kind of sits in the mountains. And so we started our hike, and there were cows everywhere, which is fine. Being from the Midwest, I can handle cows. But with cows come cow pies, which is basically cow dung, and flies, lots of flies, and a really rocky terrain. So we're sweating, we're climbing, we're looking for this place, we're hungry. And ultimately, I think because there were 5 of us, we decided to keep going for about an hour. And then we just kind of said, no, we're done. And we made our way to the restaurant.
Ooh, I think we have a picture of you in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And next slide. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to this restaurant after this terrible hike, and you can see how not even joyful, just like excited I am to eat this food. We sit down, the restaurant, they're so friendly. It's a family. Most of what they make is grown or produced on the property. So they start with some like really fresh spinach soup with lots of vegetables and meat, because you can't be in Bosnia Herzegovina and not have grilled meat. And then they gave us one of my most favorite things I've ever eaten, which is this fried bread. It's called ushchipsi.
Ooh,
And
I see. Is that the one there in the picture?
yeah, it's there in the picture. And they brought out a big pile of this fried bread, and they brought out fresh cream called kaimak and fresh honey. And you were just to put everything on the bread. And for 5 of us, I think they had to bring out another plate of those, because we were just kind of bottomless pits. Our stomachs just kept eating those. They were amazing.
Yeah, that looks really, really good. Is that like a cheese? What I see, is that the cream that you put inside?
Yeah, so it's like kind of a cross, for Americans would know it as more like a cross between a cream cheese and a sour cream. But you can't really make it outside of that region easily, because you can't get the same cultures and things that make cheese. But then with the honey on top, it's the perfect combination.
Wow, that looks really good. I think we have one more picture in the next slide.
Probably
Yeah.
another picture of the, yep,
Wow.
of that donut, basically.
Now I'm really hungry looking at
Yeah,
it. Oh, wow. Who can say no to fried bread and cheese and honey?
right. And I think every culture has a variation on this, and I think there's a reason for it.
Yep, it looks really, really good. So tell me, Melissa, did you learn to make it?
I did not. I feel like it's probably a pretty simple thing to make, but to replicate what you have in a certain experience or in a certain place, it just wouldn't taste the same. So I haven't tried it.
Yeah, and I think we have some questions. We want our audience to ask you some questions, but
Oh, great.
before we have some of the questions for you, I have a few other questions. Do you think the experience would have been different if you were alone?
If I was alone, I would have never, I would have, after 20 minutes on that hike, being hot and grumpy and flies, I would have left. Never made it to the restaurant. So I wouldn't have had this this bad hike that turned into the best meal ever.
Yeah, because I think that's what made it more memorable for you, that you had people with you.
Right. And I had like my sister and friends, and it was just, it was a good time and a good group of people. And so that experience, I think, is what makes probably for a lot of our followers, that can make a meal.
Yeah, definitely. When they say great adventures lead to amazing discoveries, and it looks like this one was one of them.
Yes, totally, Sandra.
Can you find this type of food in Utah?
Um, I can get Bosnian food in Utah at about 2 different places. But again, I think, and it's delicious, but I think it's not as easy to find as I would like. I would like
Yeah,
every restaurant to have this on their dessert menu.
I think so. Me too. So if we go to the next slide, I believe we have now some questions. So if you have questions for our guest, Melissa, who is joining us from Utah, you can ask them on the comments on Facebook, and we will try to answer as many as possible. So the first question is about Brazilian food. Do you like it?
Ooh, I've had many students make Brazilian food for me over the years, and it is delicious. And of course, I can never remember any of the names. All I know is that it's really good food. I had somebody make me like a very popular rice meat dish from Brazil, and I wish I could remember the name so I could try to find a recipe.
Oh, that sounds good. That was a question from Luis from Brazil, so maybe he can tell us what
Yeah.
that meal is. Okay, we have Lisette Solis. She is talking about favorite food. She likes everything, including vegetables and fruit. So, what do you think about vegetables and fruit?
Well, I love vegetables and fruit, especially when the weather is getting warmer. That's when I really like to eat all the fresh veggies and fresh fruit. I love watermelon season, so when that comes, I'm eating watermelon all the time. That's
Yeah,
definitely my favorite fruit.
that's very refreshing. Watermelon is very refreshing for summer days.
Yeah, so good.
Wow, we have a lot of questions here. So we have a question from Tatiana, and she likes roast turkey. How about you? You like roast turkey?
I'd say as an American, you have to like roast turkey. It comes as part of our biggest holiday, Thanksgiving. So of course I love roast turkey.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since I had turkey, but I definitely it's my favorite thing about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Santa Ann Noor, and she wants to know if you have a recipe for brownies.
Oh, brownies. I can make really good cookies, but brownies, they don't bake well. And since I live in the mountains at altitude, it changes and they always come out half raw and half done. So I'm sorry I don't have a good recipe for brownies, but I do love eating brownies.
Yeah, definitely. I am not a baker at all, but I could eat a lot of cookies and
Yeah.
brownies. Rodrigo Martinez is asking if you like Mexican food.
Yes, I love Mexican food. In fact, I would say that would be second to French fries. Like Sandra could eat
Yeah.
Mexican food all the time. I could definitely eat Mexican food all the time. Here in Utah, we get a lot of kind of Tex-Mex mixed food or some real Mexican kind of food. So it depends, but even just like a good tortilla, I could scarf those down all day.
Yeah, we have so many different questions from different countries, and we want to know if, you know, they can tell us what's their favorite fruit from their country. I think if they can tell us in the comments, we can also learn about what they eat and what's their favorite meal
Yeah.
in their countries. Anna wants to know if you had tried Albanian food.
Albanian food?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I feel like I haven't tried anything that's unique to Albanian food. Probably food that's maybe also made in Albania, but nothing. So I'd like to know what that would look like.
Yeah, definitely. We invite our viewers to please tell us in the comment box what's their favorite food from their country, and if they can describe it for us so we can learn a lot about their type of food. Patty Soto from Guatemala is asking us what's the most famous food in the United States?
Oh wow, what do you? Pizza. I mean, not because it's from the United States, but probably it's the most popular food. The most famous food for Americans might be hot dogs. People might associate hot dogs with Americans or pizza or hamburgers. What do you think, Sandra?
Yeah, I think hamburgers are pretty famous here, along with
Yeah,
French fries, which you know we
yeah,
love. And then hot dogs definitely are very popular, and pizza
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and I would also say for breakfast foods, I think cereals are
Oh,
very
yeah.
very popular here. Okay, we have a few more questions. We have smart kids want to know. They want to know what is the most delicious food here in the United States.
The most delicious. Well, like I said, French fries, but you can get so now we're all going to get hungry for lunch. I like what is the most delicious? It depends on what you're in the mood for. You can get kind of anything you want. I would say though, when I've traveled outside of the United States or the Western Hemisphere, I miss Mexican food because you can't quite get it the same um, outside of the Western Hemisphere. The peppers
Yeah.
are unique and the flavors, the spices.
Definitely. Oh, Now they're talking about pupusas and
Oh my
mango.
gosh.
I mean,
Oh,
Jose is talking about Dominican Republic and the food that they have there. They said they eat mango with cheese and fried, and he loves fried eggs too.
wow.
And Danny is telling us that you must try Bolivian food. And Adan from Algeria recommends couscous. Oh, I love couscous.
So good.
And the last comment that we have here too, it says that we should try bubble tea. I have never tried bubble tea. Have you?
That second or third favorite food is bubble tea and I've never been to Taiwan, but I went to China and Korea, and if I can find good bubble tea whenever I'm in a city, I will always go get it. It's delicious.
Yeah, that sounds so good.
Yeah.
Now we have some interesting foods here too that I didn't know about, but in Kazakhstan, Rausa says that if we have tried horse sausage.
Horse sausage? No, I haven't. I don't think I've ever eaten horse.
Me neither, but that's what's interesting. Maybe they
Yeah.
can tell us more about it, and next time if we are in Kazakhstan, we can try it.
Right, now we know to ask for it.
Yeah, and then Eduardo is saying that they have a dish called gallo pinto, and it's a recipe based in a mix of rice and beans.
That sounds good.
I know, is there rice and beans together?
Yeah, my little girl she can really eat a lot of beans. She loves them.
Yeah, and it seems like one of our viewers has eaten American pizza, and she's saying, or he's saying, Karima is saying that it was really delicious.
Yeah, I feel like some of my students from around the world will either really like it, or sometimes they'll think, oh, this is too much stuff, because we can really put a lot of ingredients on our pizza here.
Yeah, and I think we have one more comment, and I think we're past our time now. But if people have more comments or questions for us, you can put them on the comments box in Facebook, and we will try to answer your questions and share with you. Well, we have pizza is always going to be the best. That's the last sentence I have here of some of the comments. So let's go to the last slide, because I wanna, before we leave, I wanna make sure that everybody knows of our resources. So our last slide has some of our resources. You can try to practice more English online. We have the AmericanEnglish.state.gov website with tons of resources for everybody to practice. We have our YouTube channel with excellent videos to practice listening skills and speaking skills. And we also have this Facebook page, the American English at State Facebook page, with great resources. What do you think, Melissa?
I love all those resources, and sometimes I'm on and I follow all those sites and visit them regularly. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, so now it's almost lunchtime for me here in DC. I'm getting really hungry from all this great conversations we had about food. And I think it's wonderful that our participants were telling us all about their favorite food from their countries. And when we visit their countries, we can try some of that food.
That sounds good. I'll go with you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. In the meantime, don't forget to like us on Facebook, to share our resources, and keep practicing English.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us today. And we will see you soon in our next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.